Wanted to make a video today pinpointing what I would consider to be the three major wins thus far. So basically the way I would explain this is that, so as my health started deteriorating, at least dramatically deteriorating over the last 2 years, there's only been a handful, like a couple things that actually work. It takes a lot of trial and error to find those one or two things that do make a positive difference. And for example, in the beginning, like a year ago, one of the biggest things was the AIP protocol. And then out of all the things I've been trying more recently in the last 4-6 months, has been weight gain, keeping a focus on sleep, and now the functional neurologist. So let me explain. So as of right now, at any given time, I try to have at least like 3 different strategies I'm working on at the same time. So for example, I have the functional neurologist, which is the chiropractor. And then there is Brett, who's the autoimmune specialist that I'm getting consultations with, and he's giving me basically things to try, meds to try and stuff like that. And then I also have the consultation with the mercury poisoning. And we're trying to work in this kind of 3-way and getting a base, from different angles of different parts of the body from 3 different people and seeing what can work, what I can try, and basically guide me to able to have a better hit ratio at finding these things that can make a difference. So having that said, I'll talk about the 3 that I would say are the biggest wins in the last 6 months, right? The first 2 is actually pretty basic. It's just one of those things that's consistent. The third one is been the jewel, and that is the functional neurologist. So I'm gonna make separate videos about these 2 that I'm about to explain, which is keeping a focus on weight gain, and how I go about it, how I went from 105 pounds to be now around 115, 120, while only having 2 food items. And then I'll even talk about like the differences I feel being 105 versus 115 versus 100 when I touch 120, because it's actually a pretty big difference I can feel in overall balance and head pressure and ability to move around and stuff and walk around for longer periods of time, etc., etc. And then the second one is sleep quality. That's going to be, definitely needs to be its own video with talking about all the stuff. But for this video, what I wanted to kind of focus a bit more on is what I just finishing up more recently is with the chiropractor. And basically, as I've been documenting, the whole idea with that was to really hit the brain part that is responsible for, it's basically connected with all the parts of the, digestive organs and my liver and everything. And, summary, if you were to look at those videos, is basically I'm having the communication between my brain and the organs is not really happening properly. And they were to, stimulate that from a physical angle, because thus far before the chiropractor, I've only been trying natural foods and whether it be herbs or some kind of medicine and stuff like that, but it hasn't been any kind of physical stimulation massages or things like that what I've been working with. And honestly, to my surprise, it actually worked pretty well. This, I would say, is the first time that I went to a doctor or a specialist, and they had a hypothesis this is what's going on, this is what we're going to do, and then we do the thing and it has a positive effect, which seems pretty crazy to me that it actually worked, because I'm on my 34th, 5th doctor, 5th right now, I believe, with him. And so far, the rate has been, the success rate with specialists and doctors have been really low. As I mentioned before, even let go of my insurance and everything like that. I no longer, I don't pay any kind of health insurance, because the traditional system is obviously massively broken. But anyways, having that said, I wanted to go into what this actually means, right? What are the actual effects that it's having? So the very first thing is my loss of balance is a lot better, right? My loss of balance is a lot better from this, meaning like, I mean, it's right now, it's obviously not noticeable on the camera, right? But I did balance tests in the beginning of starting a neurologist, and we did tests in the end. It was showing signs of being better. I know obviously from when I get up in the morning, that's when my balance is the worst. And like, I don't know, even like a month ago, I was having days where I just can't stand up. Like every time I stand up, I have to fall back on the bed, and then just sit up on bed until my body gets used to the bilateral position. And that's basically like, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but the whole idea, like from what it seems like, the best way I can explain it is that the whole night your body's horizontal, and in the morning you just make it vertical. A lot of things has to adjust for you to function vertically. And for a normal person, this is like they just get up without thinking and they can just walk around. But when you have like this kind of condition, it's just basically like your body just can't get accustomed, especially in the early hours of the day. So for example, right here, a lot of the days I would use this cane, right? So when I would get up out of bed, I would spend some time just resting upwards and just sitting down there and getting slowly used to it. Sometimes I would work my way up. So I'd get a little bit, slight angle and stay there for let's say 5 minutes. Then I would sit up fully, maybe just a pillow behind my back. And then I would be there for another 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes it's a good opportunity to do a little bit of meditation while you're in this situation. So your body, as it's getting accustomed to being vertical, then you're also kind of working on the mind, and then you can make the leg up. Now the cane I was using, just like, it's not something I really need. It's only for the morning. Like I would just use a cane to make it to the bathroom, and basically that would be the most dangerous part of the morning, I would say. Like if you look at if you were to look up things with general like vertigo, loss of balance, a lot of people have to be, very wary where they're walking all their day. And, if they fall, a lot of people have, can't fall and they hurt themselves very badly. They get like head injuries because, they can't control the balance of their body. My one, fortunately, is not that bad, but just in the morning, it used to be very bad, where I would get some support with the cane, make it to the bathroom, and just be very wary how I tilt my head and things like that. Just rest on the sink and make sure, when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm not like shaking my head and stuff. Instead, I'm just like moving my hands, little things like that. But nowadays, over the last 2 weeks, I haven't been needing this cane at all, and haven't even really, thought about needing it for really like the last week. So that's a huge win for me, as the mornings are not as intense, where, as soon as you wake up, you have that like whole pressure of like, okay, here we go. We gotta make it through the next hour is gonna be kind of like intense, and it's a lot easier to deal with. So that's clearly the first thing. Second thing I would say, and this is probably the most surprising, is that I'm using this thing right here. Is a mouth guard, and I actually have this mouth guard for way longer than, even way before then my health started to deteriorate. Like since like 2014, 15, I would just grind my teeth, and the doctor just gave me a mouth guard that I could wear every night. But never really thought like how correlated all this stuff is. And fast forward 5 years later, a lot of that is because of, if you've seen the videos, it's related to the fight or flight response always being on, keeping me awake and whatnot. So that's really surprising to me, that I actually came to a point where I'm not grinding my teeth as much, and I can actually sleep without the mouth guard. So that would definitely be the second thing to point out as a win. And then the third thing, which I started seeing immediate benefit from ever since I started with the functional neurologist, Dr. Barry, is that my sleep quality has been improving. So like I said, I'll do a separate video on that, exactly, all the things I'm doing with sleep and what kind of worked, what didn't, what not. But definitely his thing has been the biggest move, right? There's, it just goes to show, right? Like there's, for a normal person, a lot of things you can do are pretty basic, like getting, like your blinds, or, just having a schedule in place, going to bed at the same time will do it, and you can get pretty good sleep. But with this, it was just like getting impossible to get any night of good sleep until like third, fourth nights, where I would get so tired, and then I would have a crash of like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I would be like yearning for that day when I'm like just so tired, and then my body actually crashes. That's how bad it was even a month ago. And right now, even on my aura, I'm seeing consistently I'm getting over 6.5, 7 hours every day, most days of the week. And as long as I'm just like setting the schedule and whatnot, and obviously just giving myself the time. One of the rules I follow nowadays is to spend at least 10 hours in bed. That way it just gives a lot of opportunity for me to go to sleep, even if I wake ups or not. But that will be a separate video. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I think these are some big wins. And a lot of times when you have so many issues you're targeting, it kind of becomes hard to make sure that you get to a point where, like, okay, you can firmly say that things definitely have improved to a certain degree on some of the stuff that has been an issue. And you want to definitely keep track of that, not only feel the motivation that comes with that there's a way to really actually get better from this, but also keep track of what has been done, what has worked, and try to kind of understand why you think those things work and delve into it, and then also understand how you went about thinking to try that direction, and if you can apply that kind of mindset to other parts of your body that's that needs to be improved next. So that being said, I'll end the video here, and yeah, I'm gonna make some videos on the other 2 points in this coming week.